Assalamu alaikum guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Samu Bubaus, and today I will share with you everything you need to know about the UAE's new 9% corporate tax. So in the beginning of the video, in step number 1, I will share with you why excessive taxes are bad and why it's your duty as an entrepreneur to avoid excessive taxes. In step number 2, I will explain you exactly why the UAE introduced the new 9% corporate tax and why it can be even extremely beneficial for you. In step number 3, I will explain you in detail how this tax really works. In step number 4, I will share with you how you can avoid this tax, and I will reveal different ways around this tax. And in step number 5, I will show you different alternatives and I will reveal the ultimate tax-free structure. So let's jump right into this video. So let me explain you why excessive taxes are bad. Most people think taxes are good because the government is good, right? The government is using this money, building great streets, providing great school education. No, the reality is definitely extremely different. Look at the streets in all these Western countries with high taxes. Look at the school education of all these countries with high taxes. Look at these homeless people. Look at all these problems, and it's definitely not good. Why? Because taxes usually work like this. The government is trying to bring the blood from your left arm to your right arm, but only 5% arrives, and the other 95% are lost. The problem is that this money is not only lost, it's used for bad and evil things. I mean, who is supporting, for example, Israel right now in this Palestine conflict? The taxpayers. Who is supporting the Ukraine-Russia war? The taxpayers. So the American worker is paying 5 months' salary in taxes to support the government. The government is using this power to harm the enemy with their imperialistic mindset to start a war. Then they send more money, more weapons, so that more soldiers and people can die, soon 1 million. And all this money is invested basically to keep their power. And who's providing the weapons? The financial elite. So it's at the end of the day money laundering, and the money ends up in the hand of elites who are doing even worse things with this money after millions of people already died. So it's your ethical duty to avoid paying excessive taxes, and it's your duty. It's much more intelligent that the money is in the hands of intelligent entrepreneurs like Elon Musk instead of the hands of the American government, for example, because entrepreneurs know how to use this money instead of people who just receive this money and do whatever they want with this money. So it's your duty as an entrepreneur to avoid this excessive taxes, and if you want to pay taxes, you should pay taxes for a country like the UAE, like Switzerland, like Singapore, countries where you really know you pay taxes and you really have good schools, good streets, no crime, safety, and a great country which improves every single day. So this is the basic understanding for you to start this video about taxes. So why did the UAE decide to introduce this 9% corporate tax? Many of you, me included, feel a little bit scammed. We came here to the UAE, bought real estate, incorporated our company, hired employees with the vision of 0% tax, and now they come and just start this 9% corporate tax. How is it possible? I want to explain you the background to rebuild your trust in this beautiful country. So at the end of the day, it was the pressure from the West, right? Because they are planning this global minimum corporate tax, and you can't live in isolation. I mean, most companies here in the UAE are not doing any local business. They are international businesses. So you need to work together with companies and countries around the world. So your banking needs to work perfectly. And this was a huge issue because the UAE was grey listed, even blacklisted in countries like Portugal. So they needed to make a decision. Do we want to be like this Caribbean islands, Cayman Islands, Bahamas, and so on, 0% tax, but the banking is not really working, so the companies are useless at the end of the day? Or do we want to be more like Switzerland, Singapore, so we have a small tax, but we become an international financial business hub? And the UAE obviously made the decision to become a place with great reputation. And this was definitely the right choice, because since this happened, the UAE isn't on any grey list anymore. Banking works even better, so it was the best decision. But now you know the background, and now you understand that the UAE doesn't need your money, doesn't want your money, and doesn't want to tax you, but they had to make a decision. But at the end of the day, it's simply to the outside world that it looks like there is a tax, we are not a tax haven, everything is fine, but there's still 0% income tax, and this 9% corporate tax is not the case for every single company, and this is what I will explain you in step number 3. So, number 3, how does this 9% corporate tax really work? At the end of the day, mainland companies and free zone companies need to pay this 9% corporate tax, but there are many ways around it. Let me explain you these ways. Way number 1. So in general, the first 375,000 dirham in profit are tax-free. And if you're doing less than 3 million in revenue per year, then you can apply for small business owner tax relief. And it's easy to reduce your profits to a minimum because you can't compare it to the tax system of Europe or the US, because we are talking about a startup country right now here who doesn't want to tax you. So they're very liberal with this tax system. So they allow you to pay yourself a huge salary as long as it's reasonable, and you can deduct the salary from your revenues. Then you can deduct all salaries for your employees. Then you can even deduct investments. So it's very easy to bring your profits to a minimum. The second way to work around this tax, of course, this is not legal tax advice. I'm just telling you some stories here in this video, obviously. And the next way to work around this tax is to choose a qualifying activity in a qualified free zone. So we show you the list right now, official list from the government of qualified activities which are tax-free. For example, if you are manufacturing or producing something, if you are in the shipping business, and all financial businesses are obviously tax-free. So if you set up a company in DFC, if you are in wealth management, we help many clients in DFC to open an investment fund or a crypto company, and everything which is related to finances and money management, it's still tax-free, and you have a tax exemption which is guaranteed from the government. So this is the second way. And the third way is to open an offshore company. Most people don't recommend offshore companies because they're not able to set up offshore companies properly. But offshore companies are still great in the UAE because they are 100% tax-free, no accounting, and they are anonymous. Most people are not able to get banking for these offshore companies, but we don't have any issues at all as long as you're willing to deposit 500,000 to 1 million dirham on your bank account for 6 months. We can open you, for example, an Emirates NBD offshore corporate bank account for your offshore company, and then you have a tax-free anonymous company here in the UAE. So you see, this tax is there, but if you go more into detail, you can find many ways around it. Yes, there is accounting if you set up a regular company, but it's not a big issue at all. We simply need to look at your structure, at your license, and then we can find the perfect solution. But let's say you say, no, I don't want. I want to set up a legit IT, marketing, consulting, e-commerce company, so it's not a qualified activity. I don't want to be anonymous and offshore. I don't want to have anything to do with financial services, but I still want to have a tax-free, and I don't want to have any accounting. I don't want to deduct anything from taxes because I want to have zero taxes, no accounting. Which solution do you have for me? I mean, there are many countries around the world which are either low tax or tax-free depending on your activity. It can be Singapore, it can be Switzerland, it can be Estonia, Bulgaria, Malta, Cyprus, and so on. My favorite countries, especially for e-commerce businesses or consulting businesses, are UK, because if you're a non-UK citizen and you don't have most of your clients there, you can structure UK LLPs tax-free. And my favorite solution for companies are obviously US LLCs, because if you're a non-US citizen, non-US resident, and you don't have most of your clients in the US and you don't have a physical presence in the US, then this company is tax-free, accounting-free. You can structure anonymous companies there, location independent. We can set up this company for you in 1 to 3 days, and you can really use this company after 2 to 3 weeks with great banking, from fintech bank accounts to local bank accounts, and it's the best choice for sure. You can set up bank accounts all over the world with your US LLC, because honestly, nobody thinks about US LLCs as a low tax system, right? Nobody thinks about it. Even the people in the US, in the banks, don't know that it's tax-free for non-US citizens, non-US residents, and this is the great thing. So you can really show these companies as a success story. And this is the big advantage of the US at the end of the day. You need to see it from this perspective. If the West says to the UAE, we don't want to see you as a tax haven, and you need to send us the details, you need to share informations with us, the UAE needs to adapt. They have basically no choice. But the US, I don't like what they are doing. I don't like this imperialistic mindset, but they are still the world leader, and they are not sharing any informations with anybody. That's why they can be anonymous, and nobody can make pressure on the US. No Middle Eastern country can say to US, no, Wyoming, you need some taxes. They don't care. They have the power for right now, and you can use the system to your advantage as long as it's still possible. You can send huge transactions, and these companies are not limited, because here in the UAE, you need a special license for everything, for Airbnb, for buying real estate, for selling real estate, for brokerage, and it's always one license, and you are limited to this activity. While US LLCs are extremely flexible, you can set up a US LLC in Wyoming, anonymous, and you can use this US LLC basically for everything, to simply hold assets, for asset protection. You can use it for e-commerce businesses and for simply every single business, so you are really flexible, and this is why I still recommend US LLCs, or in best case, you have both, because if you are doing international business long term, the best setup is obviously to have an anonymous, tax-free, accounting-free US LLC. At the same time, you need a tax-free structure in Europe with a UK LLP. And obviously, you need to have a tax residence, and you need to have a setup here in the UAE anyways, to give yourself residency, to open bank accounts, and to have substance in the best low tax or tax-free place in the world, which offers you safety and the best structure, the best networking, the best infrastructure in the world. And I hope this video could help you guys. And if you want to learn more about how we can help you to open bank accounts, to set up tax-free companies in the best jurisdictions around the world, then just go to wealthconsulting.com, book a call with us, and I would say see you in the call, see you in the next video, or see you in real life. Oh